Hi, welcome back to Weaving with Ambrosia. I am Ambrosia. Nice to see you again. So today we are doing one of our Plan With Me projects. I was leaning more towards doing another rigid Heddle Loom project because I actually do have something in mind for the floor loom. It's going to take a bit of time to set up, so I need a little extra time to get that one done. But for this particular project, I was kind of looking at some free patterns that are available online. And basically the idea behind them is that they're kind of simple patterns, usually done with a plain weave, sometimes with a little bit of manipulation, where you take your average fabric, so something like this 8-2 cotton, which is what I have in front of me right now, is all 8-2 cottons, and you make unique things. So they give recommended colorways, but you don't necessarily have to use those colorways. And I find that really interesting because when you're first starting off, you don't really know a lot of techniques. And sometimes you see a pattern and you're a little overwhelmed by it because you're like, I don't even know if I can do that. And I think it's pretty helpful to have some of those patterns out there that are great resources for when you're just learning. You can really see how the color play works on any basic pattern, and even how much you can really do with plain weave. And I might even need to make this a full playlist of the power of plain weave. So what I'm kind of thinking is there is a project that there's some projects that things like Handwoven have, and then there's some projects on sites like Gist or Shacked and a few other websites that just occasionally give out free projects. So it's something that anybody can follow along with and anybody can do, and you kind of get different color inspiration. So doing these projects, you use anywhere between 2 and 3 colors for the ones I've been looking at. You use a base color, and then you can mix in whether something along with the base color. So you can do like stripes, or you can do multiple different colors on top. And they achieve different looks in these patterns by how they put the string onto their shuttle stick. So it's a little bit more unique, and it's simple. So basically, what a lot of these things are is with the 8-2 cotton, it is very thin. So when you're working on a rigid Heddle loom, most of the time, if you just run one strand of this across, it comes out rather thin, and then you have a very wet, heavy, or warp heavy project, which is fine, but sometimes you want a balanced weave on the rigid Heddle loom, and you have 8-2 cotton. So what they recommend is you can actually take this, wind it into a ball on a ball winder or whatever trick you have, but you keep track of both ends, and then you grab both ends, and then you wind it onto your shuttle stick. And when you do that, now you can create a balanced weave because now you have 2 strings going across as the weft and 2 strings going across in the warp, which is definitely a fun idea. And we can really do a lot with that, I think. Obviously, we've got some neutral colors, or a neutral color here with the brown. Although I kind of consider yellow almost neutral, in my opinion. Somebody's going to be like, it's not neutral. It's neutral enough. And we can always kind of run different colors across it and make something like with the yellow and then with some red and purple in there, which is pretty fun. Or, of course, if we use the brown, the yellow, and got a little bit of, you could do pink or red and purple. I really like the red and purple. I think they look nice together. That's just me. Where you can do kind of something where these colors make different stripes. And you can make the stripes go horizontally by making them part of the warp itself, or if you want to make them just horizontal stripes, which is kind of what I'm leaning towards, we would just work them into the weft. But you let me know what you're thinking. Do you want them to see them as part of the warp, or do you want to see them just as part of the weft? Or maybe both. We can definitely do that. So the idea is we can make a couple different hand towels with this, and they will be very fun looking hand towels. And instead of doing our traditional folded edges with the hem, we'll actually just sew them and leave little fringes, and they'll kind of have a very relaxed feel, maybe a farmhouse or beach feel, depending on what colors. I think with the colors we have, it might be more farmhouse feel than a beach feel. But if you use different colors, obviously, like if you were using this with a blue or a type of light green and even this yellow, you would have a very, very beachy feel. Since these colors are a little bit darker, I think we'll have more of a farmhouse feel, which is still fun. So what do you think? Does that sound like something that's fun? Leave a comment, like, subscribe, all of that stuff. But I want to kind of come up with a colorway for this. So these are kind of our color options. And usually I start the project about a week after this video goes live because I want to have time for you guys to have comments and give your input and try to mix that into the project if I can. So, drop a comment if there's any color or color combination that's really just popping to you. Let me know so we can try and work it in. Oop, try to get these colors together so you can see them better. And, we can just make a mixture and have these very fun towels, and they're free patterns, which everybody loves because then you just follow along and you just tweak it where you want. Say you're like, oh, I like the idea of this towel. I like the way it looks. I just hate purple. You can just pull out the purple and change it for whatever color you like and keep the rest of the pattern the same. So that is always something fun about these kind of projects, is that we have those options to make mild adjustments. So that's basically where we're at for this plan with me. Next month, I plan on actually doing something for the floor loom. Hopefully playing with double weave and doing a lot of different things with that. That's going to take me a little bit of time to set up, but keep that in mind for next month. We're actually going to try to work on a little bit of double weave. So that will be our plan with me. Maybe you'll help me pick out which colors, because I do need a dark and a light color for that. And we'll get that set up. I haven't really decided on what my darks and lights will be. But today we are still planning this. So go ahead, look at these colors. Let me know which ones you're just absolutely in love with, which ones you think need to be together in this project of hand towels, and what we should do. So you'll have about a week to get me your comments. And at that point, what I start on is what I start on. And hopefully it's fantastic. Okay. And Tuesday, you'll see the finished result of our Funky Fresh scarf, which I'm actually wearing. I'm not letting you see the whole thing because it's a surprise. It's what we finished for our last rigid Heddle Loom project. I've given all the details of how many picks per inch, how many ends per inch, the exact brand and type of fiber I used, and detailed instructions on how I created each texture. So go ahead and watch those. Let me know what you think. Vote on the scarf. Tell me if you think you like it or if it's just a little too funky for you. Remember, you can always recreate this with a little bit more muted colors if that's what you prefer, or a less textured yarn. That's fine too. My daughter has already stolen this from me. I only have it right now for this video. She won't let me touch it otherwise. So get your votes in, let me know, and hopefully this will be another free pattern available that we just kind of go through together, and I will give exactly where I purchased the yarns and what the descriptions and colors and everything are. That way, if you decide you want to copy it exactly, you can actually get the material and make it one for one the exact same thing. I do want to let you know I am not an affiliate, so I do not make any commissions off of these. I just share them because it's useful, and obviously I like the fiber and that's why I'm using it. So I'm not getting paid, so don't think I'm pushing you towards one person to buy it. There's other sites to buy it from. If you happen to see it, I just happen to buy it from the stores I do. So here you go, and let me know. I look forward to talking more with you in the future. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and share with your friends.